pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome to the world center of racing and the Elite 8, round number 3, race number 1 of the iRacing E Superspeedway Series. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tony Trapasso. Welcome to Daytona. And what a big shakeup in points we saw after last week. Let's not waste any time. We're going to get right into that. Chris Worrell, James Lowe, Michael Anthony, Ed DeBoer, Tim Henderson, Brian Chu, Mark McFadden, and Joe Gautier, all continuing on in their bid to be the iRacing E Superspeedway Series champion for fall of 2022. Shane Posey, eliminated. John LeBombard, eliminated. Brad Peters, eliminated. Jason Papp, out. There's still a lot of racing left. We've got 2 weeks, tonight and next week, as we get ready to turn them loose. And let me just double check my facts, because I believe we're at Talladega again next week. And yes, we are. Talladega in the trucks. Tonight we're doing 75 laps here with an 85% fuel fill. We're looking roughly 30-ish laps out of a tank of Go Fast, so at least a 2-stop race is what we're looking forward to tonight. And again, there's still a purse on the line for your champion and your top three in points. First place gets $150. Second place, still $50 up for grabs. And third place is still racing it out for $25. 8 drivers still having a bid to do that coming into this evening, and all of them are here. Nobody who's left in the Elite 8 are taking tonight off. They're all here. They're all hungry to do battle, and they're all right on the top of the leaderboard. So, still plenty of racing left tonight as we're getting ready to click it on over into the qualifying session. Only a couple seconds left here. Do want to say hello to everybody who is joining us in the live chat. Thank you all so much for doing so. Miss Vicky looking to have her son play spoiler. I've been told Miss Sally Hammond still checking in from down under. Good to have you folks with us as always. Happy Saturday. Maron, okay. Qualifying, getting ready to click on over here. Take a quick look at the weather coming into tonight. 78 degree ambient air temperature, 80 degree track temperature under partly cloudy skies. A little bit late in the afternoon here, sun's starting to set. We're going to end up in the nighttime before this race is over. That's for darn tootin'. As we were just taking a look here, big shocker, who's going to be the first one to roll it? If you said James Lowe in the Sim Lab number 99, you'd be correct. As always, one of the first ones to get it going. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how we do qualifying here in the iRacing E Superspeedway Series, it's one and done. That's it. Plain and simple. One, you got the out lap, and then you're on the clock. Boom. None of this 2 laps, taking the first lap and a half to get it wound up to speed. Rapid fire qualifying. Only 5 minutes on the clock, too, to get your lap in. Nick Wing out on track. Brian Tarnowski, James Bowles back with us. Joe Gautier getting the final transfer spot after gutting it out last week. Just clawing his way into that final transfer position was Cujo. So there he is in the Amped Energy, number 67 again. Back with James Lowe, he's on his flyer. You can see that he is right there on that mustard line. The pride of Portsmouth, Virginia. So far, purple in the first sector. Let's see what he can do with this second one. Of course, he is going to be the provisional P1, being as he's the first one to lay a time. Now, the apron is only legal on the qualifying lap. 50.02 for Lowe, 50.11 for Gautier. James Bowles, 50.16. Brian Tarnowski is going to slot in. Third quick, 50.16 for him as well. Nick Wing getting ready to put his lap down. It's coming through 3 and 4 right now. Running a little bit higher, some of the rest. Time for Wing, third quick, 50.13. Jason Papp going to be the next one to actually take the green and start his flyer. 2 minutes left, just enough time to get those laps in. And if you're not on track yet, you're not going to get it. There's Papp in the GoPro number 1. Greg McConey and his grandfather's excavating number 12. And the man from the Great White North, Mark McFadden, who all I know all of our Aussie friends and Miss Sally from Ontario is happy to see. The man from BC, that is Mr. Mark McFadden in the 48. Brad Peters with us as well. There he is in the Airheads number 5. Pap going to be the first one to lay a time as he's going into 3 and 4 right now. Sorry, coming through 1 and 2 right now. Pap has gone 7th quick. McConey jumps up to 2nd quick as he immediately bails out. Brad Peters going to be the next one to lay a time. Not sure what McFadden's doing as he went to the pits. Apparently wanting to start towards the back, want to stay out of the trouble. Thomasville, North Carolina. Represent as Brad Peters goes 3rd quick. Good grief. Good lap for Peters. McFadden now back out on track as his lap unfortunately didn't count. And that is going to do it for qualifying. Over half the field electing to not take time. As there goes qualifying, and here we go with tonight's lineup. Starting up on the pole with a 50.019. That is the man who swept round number 2, James Lowe. He's going to be joined up on the front row with Greg McConey. Brad Peters and Joe Gautier in row number 2. Row 3 sees Nick Wing and Brian Tarnowski, with James Bowles and Jason Papp in row number 4. Row 5 sees Chris Worrell and Michael Anthony, with Austin Collins and Dusty Burkhart in row number 6. Row 7 is going to go to Brandon Wilson and Ed DeBoer. Mark McFadden and Brian Chu in row 8. And starting shotgun on the field back there in 17th is going to be Tim Henderson. So 17th car scheduled to do it here tonight. 75 laps of scheduled distance as we are getting ready to roll them. So if I click on the car that's on the grid, there we go. Just waiting for a couple of stragglers to grab those last minute cold beverages. And in case you're wondering what your announcer is drinking to make him sound like he's drunk tonight, Crystal Light Fruit Punch, non-alcoholic. Cheers. I just sound drunk normally. Just waiting for the final 3 to grid them up here. And there we go, and here we go. As congratulations, we now have the entire field getting ready to roll it as soon as the pace driver finishes his adult beverage. Field starting to roll behind that Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, the official pace car of iRacing. Again, need to thank everyone for joining us in the live chat. If you haven't done so already, please feel free to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy what you're hearing tonight. It really does help the channel and share these videos with the YouTube algorithm. And you're going to want to be sure to join us tomorrow at noon Eastern time, as Frank Marchese and I are going to bring you the opening coverage of the 24 Beers of Daytona. Yes, you heard me properly. The 24 Beers of Daytona, presented by the Thunderclap Stock Car iRacing Series. 3 separate races to take place between Saturday and Sunday. And we're going to be bringing you the first hour of the first segment, the last hour of the first segment with coverage, and then the first hour of the second segment and the last hour of the second segment as coverage. And then on Sunday, we get to do it all over again. But the idea is let's go drinking and driving in the iRacing server. Because why not? As the field worked its way out of turn number 4, the only thing left for me to say is, it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab the sunscreen and the bug zapper because it's time to get it on to Daytona. Race fans, it's show time! Green flag comes out, Lowe gets the good move on the low side, being pushed along by Brad Peters. McConey already slotting in behind those guys. Joe Gotcha reaching the outside line and held off into turn number 1. Down the super stretch for the first time. Lowe in command of this one by about 3 car lengths. That inside lane really paying dividends early as we've got some jockeying going on in the mid-pack already. James Lowe, Brad Peters, Greg McConey, James Bowles, Nick Wing, your top 5 as they currently sit. Austin Collins leading the charge on the outside lane, and he's got Chris Worrell for company up there, and we know those two know how to work very well with each other. Very forward-heavy field here tonight. Chevy's currently showing the way, but look out for the blue oval bunch as over half the field being made up of Chevys, and the lone Toyota of Brian Chu, with the rest of the field being made up of the Ford Mustang. Picking him up and laying him down as James Lowe going to lead the second lap here. Looks like Austin Collins still leading that outside lane. That outside lane's got to get a little bit better formed up. For our friends checking in down under, throw another prawn on the Barbie for me, folks. I love me some grilled shrimp. Oh, hey, hang on to her, son. Looks like the 85 of James. Oh! McConey's into the wall! Why is that not a caution? Mark McFadden crashed. Not sure exactly what happened to him.
Yellow.
Okay, there it goes. Oh, Peters just hip checks McConey, and all hell breaks loose behind him. McFadden got turned by Pap as they were both trying to take evasive action. Let's back this up a little bit as we are going to check in, and as soon as I can find him, keep your eye on McConey. There he is at the top of the screen. Boom, he's the first one to eat it. Oy. Brandon Wilson runs over Peters, and then all hell breaks loose. And a lot of races just got ruined, but unfortunately for McFadden, he's the only one that ended up pointed the wrong way on the one-way street. And keep your eye on McFadden. He's the green car on the bottom lane. He checks up, jamming on the binders, and unfortunately Pap gets to his inside, turns them. Around goes McFadden, the caution comes out. And just like that, we're going to rack them, stack them to try it again. Good news. Everyone has one fast repair in their pocket tonight. And a lot of guys are going to have to take them right here. As a matter of fact, everybody going to be bringing him pit side, except for Jason Papp. Papp stays out. Wants to get that bonus point for being credited with leading a lap. But everybody else has gone pit side. Lowe winning the battle off pit road. Peters, Bowles, McConey, Tarnowski all coming out in that order. So not too big of a hit for McConey. Tarnowski, Chu gaining a couple of spots. Matter of fact, Chu being your biggest gainer there, taking fuel only. Joe Gautier, 4 in fuel. Tim Henderson, 4 in fuel. Michael Anthony, Mark McFadden, Ed DeBoer, Dusty Burkhart, Austin Collins, all taking 4 in fuel. Austin Collins electing to pit farm that car, as does Nick Wing. Chris Worrell still on pit road. It's Brandon Wilson now pit farming. It's like Worrell wanted to leave that fast repair till later in the race. Let's see how much this is going to hamper him. As it doesn't look like the damage is too heavy on the Pfizer number 6. Throwback to one of the old Mark Martin paint schemes. Jason Papp stays out again. As we're working lap 6, getting ready to put lap 6 in the books of 75 here tonight. Lights go out on the pace car as field's starting to double it up now. And Mary, always good to have you with us. Deacon Streak checking in with us. Thank you all so much for making us a part of your Friday evening. As we got some racing starting to ramp back in here. Tomorrow we've got a couple special treats for you. As the 24 Beers of Daytona will kick off tomorrow. As well as the Dynasty Racing League Pro Series, round number 5 from Darlington. And then more 24 Beers of Daytona, more of 24 Beers of Daytona on Sunday. And the nightcap Sunday night, we are bringing back Sunday Night NASCAR. And it's going to be the Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. I'll be on the call for that one, as we're still trying to line up a partner in crime in the booth. So be sure to join us for that one Sunday evening, looking at a 7:20 Eastern Time start for that one. Is Jason Papp going to lead us down to
green.
To green. Green flag is out. Papp pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. Peters and Lowe go side by side. James Bowles up there as well. McConey still on the low side. He's got Chu for company this time. Jason Papp protecting the inside. Down the super stretch they come, almost 3 wide. James Lowe and James Bowles, battle of 2 Jameses on the top shelf, as they've got Brian Chu for company. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe... yes, it absolutely is. 4 drivers, actually 5 drivers, for Balls Out Racing leading this piece on the low side. And then you've got Brian Tarnowski up there as well. Tarnowski's in the 28 on the high side. And then you got Brandon Wilson in the 501 to, or sorry, that's Tim Henderson in the 91 to his inside. There we go. Brandon Wilson, the second car in line on the top shelf. Austin Collins up there with them. So we got a couple of cars straggling back there. That's Nick Wing and Ed DeBoer, who've fallen way off the pace. Definitely not what they were hoping to do. They've got to stay on that lead lap if they're going to have a shot at anything here tonight. Chris Worrell just sets quick lap of the race with a 46.20. Oi! Collins and Tarnowski were getting into each other there, playing bumper cars. I didn't quite see who the other one was, but I think it was Dusty Burkhart. Yes, it was. Just like that, we've got 3 packs. The lead pack being caboosed by Greg McConey. There he is. And then you've got Austin Collins and his group being caboosed by Brian Tarnowski now. Tarnowski going to fall in behind McFadden. And then you've got the tandem of Wing and DeBoer still off of them still by almost 2 full seconds. Right now, though, that front group being led by James Bowles is Brian Chu looking to use him as a fuel pig. Again, let's take a look at the point scenario coming into tonight. So Chris Worrell still in, James Lowe still in, Michael Anthony still in, Ed DeBoer, Tim Henderson, Brian Chu, Mark McFadden, and Joe Gauthier all are still in. And it's going to be a very tight points battle moving forward. Brian Chu leading that outside lane now. As that is Michael Anthony in second place. Tim Henderson currently sits plus 14 in third. Brian Chu plus 12 in fourth. Down the super stretch they come one more time. This time Anthony going to have a shot at it. As somebody was bailing out. It was Brad Peters. Going below the mustard line. Just was not happy with as chippy as it was getting up there apparently. Chu now with a good head of steam. Now James Bowles leads the outside lane. Brian Chu leads the inside lane. Michael Anthony. Here comes Joe Gauthier. Gauthier looking to make it happen. Needs that all-important bonus point. He came in as the final seed coming into tonight. Gauthier gets the clear, drops down in front of Chu. That's going to leave James Bowles as the outside lane. We've got Brandon Wilson for company up there. Who says green race cars don't matter? Gauthier about to get that all-important bonus point. Crosses the stripes. Boom. Done and dusted. And as the series moves forward in this playoff, those bonus points are going to become bigger and bigger dividends. Gauthier got the bonus point and immediately bails out. Tim Henderson making a bid for the lead now. So what was 3 groups is now back to 2. Throw a blanket over your top 14 as they currently sit. Dusty Burkhardt is the caboose in this tandem freight train. Brandon Wilson looking to play spoiler here tonight on the top side. Tim Henderson got that all-important bonus point for leading that last time by. Now Wilson's going to drop down in the Black Rifle Coffee, number 501. James Lowe, as that is James Bowles making a third lane by himself, and I don't think he really wanted to be up there. Better stay up there till the parade comes by. You come down and they'll lick you. You know what? We're going to go on board with Chris Worrell and see exactly what our regular series champion, our points hitter, our points leader is currently seeing. Now making a bid for the lead on the low side. Drops down in front of James Bowles. Oh, McConey putting Bowles 3 wide, low, almost sideways. And they're still not. Yikes. They still didn't have that sorted even on the exit, as now Lowe makes another bid for the lead. Got tired of being used as a pinball. The way these guys are beating and banging on each other, you'd swear it was lap 70 as opposed to lap 21. As Bowles gets shuffled down below the mustard line. Michael Anthony now to the point. Anthony getting credited with leading that lap. Brian Chu on his back bumper. Now, Chu was eliminated, but no, I'm sorry, Chu's still in this. I stand corrected because I'm stupid. Chu's still in it. Anthony's still in it. Lowe's still in it. As a matter of fact, the team with the most drivers still in it with, let's see, 2, 4. With 4 drivers is Balls Out Racing. Then you've got Ed DeBoer for Dudes Racing, Mark McFadden for Jawbone, Joe Gautier for Jawbone, still with a shot at this one. Cyberpower and Sim Labs, 2 great tastes that go great together.
Yellow flag is out.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. We're going to back this up a lap to see what just happened. Keep your eye on McConey on the low side. That's the lavender and yellow car on the low side. 4th car in line. The top lane does not look too steady. Now McConey jumps up to go with Worrell on the top shelf. James Bolds drops down to the low side. Oh. You know what? We're going to back that up the hard way and see exactly what just took place here. McConey jams on the binders to try to stay off of Worrell. Almost gets down into Brandon Wilson and just bangs the wall. And that car is not a happy camper. As a matter of fact, that is Bluetooth right front suspension on the 12. And it might be Bluetooth rear suspension. Yes, it is. Bluetooth rear suspension as well. You can see just how badly that car is crabbing. And pretty much wholesale pit stops. Although Tim Henderson stayed out, and I'm not sure why. Everybody else came down pit road. Henderson stayed out to apparently try to lead a lap. No, I'm sorry. He had trouble getting that car going again. As that is Bluetooth right front suspension. He just couldn't get it into the pit box. Henderson doing everything he can to try to keep that car on the lead lap. James Lowe wins the battle off pit road. Brad Mashburn, welcome back. Why is it every time Brad checks in, there's always carnage? Not saying I blame you, Brad, but still. Taking a quick look at the weather conditions right now. Just past 8 o'clock in sim time as the sun continues to set. Light starting to turn on around the Speedway. 77-degree ambient air temperature, 79-degree track temperature, 10-mile-an-hour winds. That explains everything. Coming off the beach, blowing straight across turn number 4, which is why turn 4 has been wreaking havoc with these cars all night. As lights are already out on that Ford Mustang GT500 pace car, a lot of drivers going to have to hustle it. Henderson finally got into his pit box. Looks like he's pit farming that thing. Ed DeBoer back down pit road. Greg McConey back down pit road. Chris Worrell stayed out to get the wave around. And I can promise you this is not how your points leader wanted to come into the Elite 8. James Lowe going to have the button one more time as he gets ready to turn him back loose. James Bowles to his outside, and a James lockout on the front row currently. Dusty Burkhart and Brad Peters, two former teammates, going to start right behind him. Mark McFadden, the highest he's been tonight, at +9, currently sits in 6th. Third car on the outside lane. As we get ready to turn him back loose, Lowe wastes no time picking up James Bowles. It's Bowles and Peters trying to get it wound up on the high side. Bowles immediately shoots down to the low side. Lowe on the top shelf. As Lowe and Peters working very well with each other right now. And here comes McFadden down to the low side in front of Burkhart. Lowe drops down to pick up McFadden. Saw the run the Canadian was getting, wanted to cut that off at the quick. Lowe, McFadden, Burkhart, Collins, Tarnowski, Peters, Bowles, Anthony, Wilson, and Gauthier. Your top 10 as they currently sit. Boy. Tarnowski just bailed out. Wanted to get as far away from that massacre as he could. Lowe and McFadden in command on the low side. Working lap 28 of 75 here tonight from Daytona. We're expecting one more stop is all these guys are going to need to bring it home. Here comes Burkhart with some help from Brandon Wilson in the 501, trying to make some headway on that second lane. Burkhart has the clear. Wilson now had the clear and lost it. 3 wide going into 3. This is never a good idea. You're putting a lot of trust in Netcode and everyone around you. So right now, throw a blanket over your top 14 as Brian Chu is the caboose in that freight train. Tim Henderson still on pit road trying to get that car fixed. Ed DeBoer and Greg McConey quite a ways off of this lead group. Hey! Chris Worrell making a bid for the lead. He's got Pap for company on the top side. Pap now bails out. Anthony makes a third lane. Austin Collins in the Tennessee Vols, number 29, goes with him. James Bowles now up the gut. Remember those scary movies as a kid where you kind of peek through your fingers because you weren't sure if you really wanted to see the carnage that was about to happen. Yeah, I'm kind of doing that right now, unfortunately, folks. Only because I promised myself I wouldn't break the armrest of my wheelchair anymore. These guys, I swear, are racing this like it's lap 74 instead of 31. Oy vey. Place your bets in the giant roulette wheel. Place your bets. How long and how many? Laurel and Bowles take over the lead of this one. We're still 3 wide behind them, though. Oh, Anthony gets into Wilson. Oh. And he still doesn't have that car under control. Finally gets it under control. Well, that's going to pretty much be at the end of the night for Wilson. And yellow flag's out. Oh, boy. Jason Papp involved in that one. Brian Chu looks like he may have caught a piece of it. I think I saw Mark McFadden pointed the wrong way. Yes, we did. Unfortunately. Keep your eye on that bright green and black car on the low side. Oh my goodness. Let's watch that again. Papp caught the bump and just gets down into McFadden. Looks like Brian Chu was just on the binders trying to stay off of Papp. And that's exactly what happened. Oh, boy. Well, just like that, we're back under caution. We're going to step away, pay a couple bills, and we'll be back right after this.
What's up, guys? Roger Debo, front tire changer for the 45 Alpha Prime car. You're watching Sim Racing Media.
And we are back at the World Center of Racing for race number 1 of the Elite 8 of the iRacing E Superspeedway Series. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Trapasso with you as the lights are already out on the pace car. Brian Tarnowski using a fuel-only stop with everyone else taking tires and having damage repair to wrestle the lead away. As he brings him into the Geico restart zone, green flag is out. And Tarnowski drops the hammer. Did he get too good of a start? That's the question. Is James Lowe going to have a run at him as soon as they get to turn number 1? As a matter of fact, Lowe pinches up in front of Austin Collins and James Bowles and immediately takes over the lead of this piece from the second lane. All three of those drivers able to get the clear. As Tarnowski finally gets some help from Brian Chu. It's the Brian and Brian show on the low side. It's Joe Gautier, one of the highest he's been all night since qualifying 4th. Currently in 4th. Lowe, Collins, Bowles, Gautier, Chu, Burkhart, Worrell, Anthony, Peters, and Tarnowski. Your top 10 as they currently sit. Paps around.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Pap and Anthony finding each other there. It's already kicked off before that. So let's back it up to the start of the lap. Keep your eye on Jason Papp. He's going to be the middle. Actually, keep your eye on Michael Anthony and Chris Worrell. You can see Worrell in the 6 on the low side. Burkhart checks up and just, I don't know why Burkhart checked up like he did. Let's go back and take a look at that one again. There's Burkhart. Now Chu's going to get a run on him. So Chu gets to his inside, right behind Gautier. And then Gautier goes up, Burkhart eats the wall, and just kicks off the fun behind him. You can see Papp in the 1 on the low side. He's got McConey right behind him. Peters jumps up right in front of him in the 5. And Michael Anthony doesn't expect Burkhart to jump on the binders as Burkhart just does so and gets into the wall. Peters turns Anthony. Tarnowski gets a piece of that one. Ed DeBoer involved in that as well. Jason Papp still trying to get that car pointed the right way. Oy vey. And for all the nights for us to be without live race control, Mark Casey, hope you're feeling better. Frank had to work the morning shift at the radio station he works at to pay his actual bills. And you can see the heavy right side damage on Papp's GoPro number 1. Chris Worrell still pit farming the Pfizer number 6. Well then. Tim Henderson trying to get one of his multiple laps back, currently sitting 8 down. James Lowe going to have the button one more time. Brian Chu, after not taking time in qualifying, currently sitting in 4th, plus 12. There he is in the Interstate Toyota on the outside. Austin Collins in the Tennessee Volunteers, number 29. He is currently plus 9. Dusty Burkhart in the 6-9 is currently plus 9. Mark McFadden in the black and green Ford on the outside. He is currently plus 9, back in 6th. And if you're wondering why you only see 6 cars, that's because the rest of the field is trying to they've been down pit road numerous times to try to get as much damage repaired on those cars as they can. Some of whom already having burned their fast repair, no longer having that as their mulligan. And for those of you who are new to the iRacing server, a fast repair, it basically means we let you roll out the backup car and throw the current setup on it and go. You get a fresh car. I mean, this league allows one of those per race session. Many of the other leagues that we broadcast don't allow them at all.
Green, green,
As
green.
Lowe leads him into the Geico restart zone, drops the hammer. Burkhart goes with him. Collins and Chu on the outside already working together. As Lowe picks up the top shelf. Burkhart getting pushed on by James Old on the low side. Drag race down the super stretch. Low on the high side. Burkhart on the low side is that outside lane. In this car, give me the second lane all day. As long as I've got some good, stable help up there to push with me, we're good. It's now Collins looks to the low side. On low. Collins looking to play spoiler after not qualifying for the playoffs. Chu gives him a good shove. Chu is still in. McFadden is still in. And look who's back up towards the front. That's Chris Worrell in the Pfizer number 6. You know, they say the cream rises to the top, and you got Joe Gautier is one of the ones rising to the top. Brad Peters trying to make a bid for it. Michael Anthony back up towards the front. I guess that old adage holds true still. Working lap 43 of 75 here tonight. Very close to you can make it from pure territory, but you're going to need to save some laps. And I can guarantee you none of the top 5 on the high side want any part of being the fuel pig for the rest of them, considering that they're all still in the playoffs. Michael Anthony, not to be denied, goes up through the gut. Gets the lead. Oy. Almost gets into Chris Worrell down the super stretch. Oh my goodness. Brian Chu hung out to dry. Tim Henderson showing he still has some speed in the 91, although he's 8 laps down currently. Not what he was hoping for tonight. Anthony Worrell low, Burkhart, Pat, McConey. Oh, we've got problems!
Yellow.
McConey just got sent. Oh, let's back that up to the beginning of the lap, shall we? Keep your eye on that outside lane. Third car on the outside is McConey. He's got Burkhart all over him. Peters tries to send it up through the middle, gets hip checked by Cujo. Watch this one again. And the 85 of Bowles, who was pushing on McConey, is the hip check from hell just took place. It kicks off when Brad Peters tries to make it 3 wide. Well then, that just happened. Back that up to the beginning of the lap. We're on board with McConey. Now we're on board with the car behind him. Unreal. Just why? Why? Well, you know, they say that it takes patience to win races. This is why I'm in the booth and not on track, because right now the patients are on life support. tonight's race is brought to you by the letters W, T, and the letter F. And also by the number And if you don't know where the letter or number is, it's somewhere between 3 and 4. Just ask Sheldon from Big Bang. He'll confirm it. Lights are out on that Ford Mustang GT500 pace car. Not a moment too soon. Still working its way through the 3-4 complex. Lowe brings him into the Geico restart zone, pulls the trigger, and we are back underway. Working lap 49 of 75 here tonight from Daytona. First race of the Elite 8. Lowe, Gautier, Burkhart, Worrell, McFadden, Tarnowski, Collins, Shu, and Anthony and Wing, your top 10 as they currently sit. And just like they have done for the good since the start of the season at Daytona, all the way back in July, Lowe and Worrell have found each other yet again and are working for another 1-2 finish between the two of them. They have the lone Canadian Mark McFadden up there with them. Here comes Austin Collins on the outside, the Tennessee Vols, number 29. He's got the 69 of Burkhart for company up there as Lowe goes up to throw the block on his teammate. Everybody playing duck and peek like they are. Again, you would swear that this was the final lap as opposed to coming to 25 to go. .25 markers left in this one. James Lowe continues to show the way. Only a lap or two away from clinching most laps led here tonight. Austin Collins, Duncan Burkhart, Michael Anthony, and Greg McConey up there on that outside lane, along with Brian Tarnowski. Michael Anthony leading the low side. Joe Gautier, Chris Worrell down there with company for him. Now, the loose math that I've done is, should this thing stay green, I doubt it, but should it stay green, everybody should be able to make it from here. Tarnowski drops down out of the draft, wanting to get some clean air to the radiator of that car. Here comes James Bowles, who is a lap car now. Matter of fact, Bowles racing to get back on the lead lap. The James and James show once again at the front of this, although James Bowles in the 85 is a lap car on the low side. James Lowe on the high side. Why do I feel like I have a mini stroke every time I say that? And yes, I finally did remember to put my mic back on. So, yay me. I get a cookie. Greg McConey making a bid for one, working with Cujo. James Bull's going to be the third car in that little bracket down on the low side. They're going to need some numbers, though, if they're going to want to surpass the outside lane. That bottom lane in this car particularly is not where you want to be. It really bogs this car down with the independent rear suspension on that low side. As now Chris Worrell gets hung out to dry on the top shelf. Cujo goes up for company with him. Throw a blanket over your top 12 as Brian Chu in 12th is the freight train in this little fracas. And then you're about 5 3/4 seconds back to this little grouping of Jason Papp, Brad Peters, and Tim Henderson. Back towards the front. Austin Collins now leads the low side charge. He's got Chris Worrell glued to his back bumper. Dusty Burkhart down there as well. Never count out the Canadian crippler Mark McFadden down there on the low side. As he does have a toe, he's just trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction. 20 to go. Austin Collins making a bid for the lead in the Tennessee Vols, number 29. That low side starting to work. Collins, Worrell, and Burkhart running stem to stern as Worrell jumps up, goes around Collins. Oh, no. Not again. Why do I feel like I've watched an A fixed race in an open server? As Cujo back up into third, this is going to bode well for him. Just got to bring it home from here. Worrell drops down to go around low. Low caught on the high side. You know what? We're going to go on board with Michael Anthony. And I think that was Austin Collins that just got yeeted. Yes, it was. Low, Worrell, Anthony, Burkhart, and Gautier, your top 5 as they currently sit. That is James Bowles, who is a lap car in that little fracas. Dusty Burkhart into the wall in the front chute. They're starting to drop like flies now. Good old DDT when you need it. Low, Worrell, Gautier, Anthony, Tarnowski, McFadden, McConey, Wing, DeBoer, and Chu, your top 10. Dusty Burkhart in 11th, the final car in this little front grouping. Austin Collins and Jason Papp about 5.5 seconds off of this lead group. As now we got a little bit of a breakaway, a little 5-car tango at the front of this piece. Three wide again. What could go wrong here? He asks sarcastically. Yeah, no, this will be fine. Sure. It's worked well the previous 8 times they've done it. Not. "13 laps to go. Make that 12.5 now as they shoot down the super stretch and haul it off into turn number 3. And finally, no more 3 wide. Yay. Worrell, Lowe, Anthony, Gautier, McConey, your top 5 as they currently sit. Here comes Cujo up the gut. Trying to make it happen on the low side. James Bowles with him for help, but Bowles not giving a lot of help. Pokemon Mountain Dew. How many of you 90s kids spent many a weekend like that with your friends? McConey comes to the point. Cujo for help. And McConey was eliminated. He's just looking to play spoiler here tonight and finally get that monkey off his back, getting his first win on the season. Nothing would make him happier, I can guarantee you that. As I was privy to some of the post-race discussion last week. Greg was literally ready to kick puppies. Anthony grazes the wall, goes with Lowe. McConey hung out to dry. Good grief. Not again. Okay, they got that one sorted out quickly. No longer are they 3 wide. James Bowles on the low side as a fuel pig. Bowles now goes up to throw the block on James Lowe. Oi! What are you doing? I'm just waiting for the wreck at this point, folks. How about you? Eight to go. McFadden grazes the wall going into one. Take a hell of a time to stop snorting glue. On board with Michael Anthony. Seven to go. Lowe, Anthony, Wing, McConey, Chu, Gautier, DeBoer, Worrell, McFadden, and Papp, your top 10 as they currently sit. Throw a blanket over your top 9. McFadden, the caboose in this dual freight train at the front of this piece. I believe that was Brad Peters who just ate the wall. Yes, it was. Six laps to go. It'll be 5 at the stripe. And this race is still wide open. Oh. Well, okay. Looks like everybody's made their bed. They're going to line it now. Looks like Anthony just was trying to bail out there. James Lowe, Brian Chu, Nick Wing, your top 3 as they currently sit. Chris Worrell throwing sparks off the 6. Going into 3, coming out of 4. Worrell dives low. Gautier almost sideways. James Lowe continuing to show the way at the front of this piece. Michael Anthony down. I'm sorry, that's Chris Worrell down on the low side now. Four laps to go. Everybody single filed out. Nobody wanting to tip their hand too early. We're going to be 3 to go at the stripe. Are we going to get there without the caution flag? Place your bets. My money is no. Because we're 3 wide. And Worrell sideways. Michael Anthony sideways. Cujo sideways. Wing is around. Hold the brake. If we get a caution, I'm going to punch Nick Wing right in the mouth.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
There it is. You suck. Wing gets put up the gut in a 3-wide situation. Worrell goes sideways. Anthony and Cujo go sideways. Wing hits the wall. Doesn't hit the brake pedal. God forbid. God forbid he hits the brakes. That'd be too easy. And then spins it. How? I have no idea. Why do I even show up? Why? Why do I even bother showing up? And Ben, you're not wrong. You're seriously not wrong, sir. Some of these guys must have grown up playing Ivan Iron Man Stewart's off-road, where the only way you could win a race was taking out everybody else. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm getting real sick of stupid people causing stupid cautions in the closing laps of these races. If I can't win, no one else will. And then I'm going to hold the brake so I make sure I get a caution so I can stay on the lead lap. Read your sporting code. You know, it's that thing they make you read when you sign up for iRacing. Read your sporting code again. And if you're a driver who thinks I'm talking about you, and I'm not talking about the man who's on screen right now, I am not. But if you are a driver and you think I'm talking about you, chances are I'm talking about you. Because you've not held the brake pedal, or you put yourself in a bad situation and, you know, decided, hooray for me and screw everybody else. I'm going to do what I want. Again, if you think I'm talking about you, then yes, I'm talking about you. I, however, am not talking about the two men who are in the middle of your screen right now. Make that for 5 guys in the middle of the screen right now. That I can promise you, I'm not talking about them. Brian Chu elects to stay out. Austin Collins elects to stay out. Dusty Burkhart elected to stay out. James Lowe, fuel only. Greg McConey took 2. Maybe he took 4. Yeah, he probably did take 4. I take that back. McConey may have taken 4. Gauthier took fuel only. And then everybody behind him took 4 in fuel. And we're going into overtime. For those of you unfamiliar with how overtime works, the green flag is going to come out. The leader of the race has to make it all the way back around to cross the start-finish line to start the white flag lap. If that happens, we're racing back to checkers. If that does not happen, we're going to rack them, stack them, and try it again up to 3 attempts. If during the 3rd attempt that does not still take place, field frozen, race over, good night everybody. Chu going to have the button for the first time tonight as the pace car gets ready to make that hard left turn. There it goes below the mustard line. Chu's going to bring him into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out, and we are back underway. First attempt at overtime. Collins and Lowe on the high side with Gautier for company. Chu and Burkhart with McConey on the low side. And we're 3 wide again at the back of the pack. And we're 3 wide again in the middle of the pack. Not sure how Dusty Burkhart just got shot up through the middle. But here comes Gautier. No help, though. Oh. Coming to the line. Can we make it? Yes, we are racing back to checkers. Thank God for small favors. Collins looking to play spoiler here. Lowe looking to get his third straight win in a row and fourth of the playoffs. Coming down the super stretch, 3 wide. That's 2 into the wall. Boy. Coming to the line. Oi! Well, there's the checkers. Let's go back and take a look how that one finished. Anybody want to buy a slightly used race car? Let's back that up a lap, and we're going to watch this again. It's Michael Anthony, 4th car in line on the top side. DeBoer is going to get a run to his inside. Sorry, that's Burkhart. I apologize. DeBoer is the 3rd car in line, actually. Worrell goes to the inside. Anthony goes with him. DeBoer caught in the middle. McConey for help there. Chu, no help. James Lowe goes to the outside, uses the slingshot. Oy. Yep. That's a lot of torn up race cars. And as he does his celebratory burnouts, the Pied Piper of Portsmouth, Virginia, 3 straight wins and punches his ticket into the championship round of 4 in 3 weeks. Congratulations, James Lowe.
Appreciate it, Tony. That's 4 in a row.
Oh yeah, you're right. It is 4 in a row. Holy crap! You completely swept the last round.
My whole goal, I wanted Austin to stay high so I could push him to the win, but he went low, and then he opened himself up. I couldn't help myself but to side draft him there at the end. But I was gonna push Austin to the win, but he just went low for no reason.
4th straight week in a row, we have seen an all balls out racing sweep of the podium as well. James, you've made a major statement here tonight coming into the first round of the Elite 8 that the championship is going through the Sim Lab number 99 if anybody wants it.
Well, we'll see. I think we've just done a real good job. My whole goal is I try to stay out front because it misses all the carnage. So I try to lead as much as I can,
I noticed that
just
tonight.
just to try to avoid stuff. And luckily tonight it looked like it was a benefit because I missed a lot of stuff. So, um, but yeah, the guys, they always run good, and we were all right up there battling for the win.
Well, I do want you to know that Aunt Mary was watching tonight, as well as Zeke and Streak was pulling for you as well.
Oh, nice. Yeah, say what's up to everybody that's watching, especially Aunt Mary Alice and Uncle Rich and the Flying Aces guys out there. Say hey, what's up to them?
James, who else do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate?
Just first and foremost, thank Jason Papp for putting all this on, and he has to put up with a lot, and it's a great series, a great thing to do on Friday night. So um, first off, thanks to him, and then the boys, Chris and Mike and Austin and Dusty and Jason and everybody else that's in the Discord chat. We got a whole squad of them at this point, but and Circle B Diecast, iRacing Flag, Midwest Motor Custom, Butt Kicker, and just everybody that watches and you for broadcasting, man. Appreciate it. You do a great job.
James Lowe, congratulations on your 4th straight. We'll see you next week at Talladega.
Appreciate it, man.
Joining us now, the man that he said he wanted to push to a win. Unfortunately, hey, racers are going to be racers. If you leave an opening, Austin Collins, I believe this is your 2nd podium of the season, though.
Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of time to race this year, so it just felt good run up front. And I probably should have stuck high, but it was fun. I don't blame James. I'd have took it too if I was behind him.
Well, you were trying to throw the block, and then you saw that Pfizer 6 coming to your inside, and, plays devil advocate, damned if you do, damned if you don't. So you threw the block on Chris Worrell to keep him behind you at least, coming home with 2nd place. Not too shabby a run, although you got caught up in quite a bit tonight. How bad was the damage early going?
I think I had around 30 seconds. It wasn't too bad. I mean, once I got out, I was still running pretty quick, so I saved a fast repair and I was going to use it at the end, but ended up staying out when everybody else went in and almost held on to it. So I wish I wouldn't have got spun a couple of times, but that's the fun of it. These cars were a handful tonight, and we enjoyed the hell out of it.
Austin, again, congratulations on one of your rare podiums this season. And the last time you were had a podium, it was the car and track combination that we're going to be going to next week, and that's trucks at Talladega. Talk to us about that one.
Well, I look forward to Talladega. It's a little more fun 3-wide racing, so it may not be as hectic as this, but at least it'll be a little tighter anyways.
All right, Austin, who do you need to thank before we turn you loose?
I reckon just thank the sponsors, the Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, iFlag, Butt Kicker, and Midwest Motor Customs. And thank you all for doing it.
All right.
Put it on.
Austin Collins, congratulations on another podium. We'll see you next week in the trucks.
Thank you, sir.
And joining us now, the man who was your points leader coming into tonight and leaving not too shabby in points, Chris Worrell. All things considered, can't be too disappointed in yet another clean sweep by your Balls Out Energy team to kick off the Elite 8.
Yeah, it was a good finish. It was a really fun race. I think we would have had a pretty awesome finish there if people don't keep screwing with the finishes and causing intentional cautions. That's kind of whack, but it is what it is. Same people do the same things every week. Get old, and I like everybody in this league, but I mean, I know we're beating and banging and having fun beating up the cars, but that you can't do that. And I think it would have been a perfect race if that didn't happen. But other than that, I'd like to thank Circle B Diecast, Rowdy Energy, iRacing, iFlag, Butt Kicker, Midwest Motor Customs, and Austin Collins for that awesome back rub he gave me before this race.
Good night, everybody. All right, Chris, we'll see you next week in the trucks at Talladega, sir.
Okay, thanks, man.
But that is going to do it for us tonight. Take a quick look at our finishing order. James Lowe, Austin Collins, Chris Worrell. We just spoke to those 3 gentlemen. Dusty Burkhart and Mark McFadden rounding out your top 5. Michael Anthony, Greg McConey, Joe Gautier, Ed DeBoer, and Nick Wing rounding out your top 10. Brian Chu, James Bowles, Jason Papp, and Brad Peters rounding out your lead lap cars. Brian Tarnowski, Tim Henderson, and Brendan Wilson rounding out your complete field of 17 here tonight. So that is going to do it again for us here from the first round of the Elite Eight for the iRacing East Super Speedway Series. Be sure to join us tomorrow night for the 24 Beers of Daytona. Frank Marchese and I will be on the call for that one, and I believe that's a 1 p.m. Eastern Time start for that tomorrow night, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, followed by the nightcap tomorrow night, which will consist of the Dynasty Racing League Pro Series, round number 5 from Darlington. That is a 7:50 Eastern Time start. And then the second round of the 24 Beers of Daytona, which will kick off at 8. Bear with me. 8:50 Eastern Time for race number 2 of that. And then we'll be back Sunday with a doubleheader, the final round of the 24 Beers of Daytona at 11:50 a.m. And then the nightcap, as we always do, and we're glad to have them back with us for their next season, the Sunday Night NASCAR Cup Series, Busch Light Clash at the Coliseum. That'll be a 7:20 Eastern Time start for that one. So, on behalf of Sim Racing Media, this is Tony Trapasso reminding you, ladies and gentlemen, that until we meet again and as you walk down the road of life this week, don't play in traffic. Good night, everybody.